Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Once Upon a Crescent, a Muslim kids podcast. This podcast is a collection of original children's stories. I am your author and storyteller, Mrs. Hashmi. This is season 3. I hope you have your seatbelts on because I'm planning on taking your imagination on a fun story time ride. Today's story is called Sunday Funday. Sunday Funday preparations were underway. Mohammed and Amanaah were excited to visit Ma's house. That's their grandma, and she makes the most amazing food. Today, Ma was making fried chicken and pasta for these kiddos. Mohammed put on his favorite turquoise shirt, and Amanaah wore her favorite pink dress with pink leggings and a pink bow. And, pink shoes too.
Come kids, let's go. We have to pick up your cousins too. Ma's waiting for us all.
Dad called out. Mohammed and Amanaah loved hanging out with their cousins at Ma's house. It felt like summer break was kicking off to a great start. Their cousins, Ghazi and Mehdi, were going to be a part of this Sunday Funday too. All 4 kids had planned a water day in the backyard. They planned on having a water balloon fight and soaking each other from head to toe. This Sunday Funday has been master planned by all 4 kids for weeks now. When Dad finally pulled into the driveway of Ghazi and Mehdi's home, Mohammed eagerly spoke.
I hope the boys are ready. Dad, can you honk twice now?
Mohammed was in a hurry, so Dad parked the car and did as requested. 2 boys came running to the car with their water guns in hand. The boys entered the car with a salam.
No squirting each other in the car, okay? You all have to wait until we get to Ma's house to start Sunday Funday.
Dad told the kids in the back. All 4 kids were squished in the back seat with their knees bumping into each other as the car drove away towards the highway. Daddy, how much longer will it take to get to Ma's house? Amanaah asked eagerly.
We're almost there, but first a quick stop for me.
All the kids groaned. Dad pulled into a drive-through coffee shop and rolled down his windows to place his coffee order.
Hi, good morning. Could I get a double shot oat milk cappuccino, please? Oh, and I have 4 really awesome kids here in the back with me. Could I please get 4 lemonades for my kid crew?
Dad said enthusiastically, winking to the kids in the back. The kids felt excited to get an unexpected treat before lunchtime. The speaker sound system at the coffee shop had a lot of static. Oh no, something wasn't quite right.
Did the lady hear my order? Hello?
Dad asked out loud. He was leaning into the drive-through speaker system.
Oh my goodness, I am so sorry, sir. I couldn't understand your order. It was really staticky. Could you repeat your order again?
The woman said with an apology. Just then, a large truck pulled up behind Dad's car. It was inching dangerously close to their car. The man driving this truck poked his head out and was staring at Dad. He squinted and focused on the tasbih that was hanging on Dad's rearview mirror. The man shook his fist at Dad and scowled.
Hurry up, will you? You people don't know how to do anything right. Go back to your country.
The man slammed his steering wheel, releasing a loud. The kids in the back seat were startled. What was going on? Wondered Mehdi. He looked behind to see the man red in the face, yelling and shouting within his truck. Dad took a deep breath and whispered,
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Yes, hi. My order again is a double shot oat milk cappuccino and 4 cups of lemonade, please.
The man in the truck behind them continued to honk and horn at Dad. He revved his engine louder and louder and yelled.
Hurry up, will you?
The kids huddled close together in the back seat and kept quiet, just staring at Dad. Dad pulled up to the window where the drinks were ready. The cashier was very annoyed at the truck man's behavior. She spoke from behind the glass and said,
I'm so sorry you had to experience that. Some people just don't understand how to live in peace with others.
She slid the drinks to Dad and shrugged and waved from behind the window. Dad jumped in his seat and yelled.
Peace. Yes, I agree.
Dad smiled so wide and handed the lady a $50 bill. The woman was shocked to receive so much money. She was just about to hand it back to Dad, but Dad interrupted and instructed.
Listen, I want to pay for that man's drink and whatever else he ordered. If there's money left, you keep the change as a tip. Let him know that this Muslim family wishes nothing but peace upon him.
With that, Dad showed 2 fingers as the peace sign to the cashier. He then stuck out his entire body and arm to show the peace sign to the man behind him. Dad adjusted back to the driver's seat and drove out of the drive-thru and parked in the parking lot. He finally got comfortable and situated. Dad handed the lemonades to the kids in the back. He noticed that the kids were tense, worried, and huddled together. They were really quiet and still, just staring back at Dad. Dad helped himself to a big slurp of the lemonade. He smiled at Mohammed and offered it to him. Mohammed readily accepted the lemonade and spoke. I would have punched that guy if I was you, Dad. Ghazi agreed with his cousin.
That guy needed a kill pill. Uncle Song, he could beat that guy up.
Ghazi punched in the air to really demonstrate his point, and he wasn't done talking.
You're probably stronger than him, Uncle.
Mohammed interrupted.
Why didn't you turn around and yell back at him? He was being so rude to us.
Dad could tell that Mohammed was hurt and feeling very upset. He placed his hand on his son's shoulder and said,
And then what? We would have gotten into a heated argument and I would have been just as lowly and out of control as him then. I refuse to be pulled into that nonsense, especially not today on Sunday Funday. Imagine if our time spent right here yelling, screaming, insulting, cursing one another. Will that have solved anything or changed his heart towards me as a Muslim?
The kids kept quiet and shook their head no.
So that's why I chose to do what Allah instructed us to do. And when the ignorant address them, they say, peace.
Dad casually mentioned this verse from the Quran. He took his coffee and enjoyed a sip. Amanaah was quietly sniffling in the back. She was hiding her tears and upset look from her dad. But Daddy, isn't this the meanest thing that anyone has ever said to you?
It was really upsetting,
Dad admitted out loud. They all quietly sipped on their drinks. Mehdi tapped his uncle on the shoulder and whispered to him in his ear, You're totally stronger than that guy. Dad laughed out loud. He flexed his muscles in the air and got ready to leave to go to Ma's house. Just as Dad was about to reverse the car and exit, he heard a knock on the driver's side window. It was the man from earlier. This startled Dad. Dad did not roll down his window. He looked to the kids who held each other's hands. The man at the window was not yelling or shouting. He was quiet. He held one hand on his heart and bowed his head down apologetically.
I'm sorry for my anger and behavior. I bought some cookies for the kids to say sorry about earlier.
The man placed the cookie bag right at the door of Dad's car. He then turned around and entered his own truck and rolled down the windows. The man had a friendly smile. He raised up the coffee that Dad had paid for and gave Dad a thumbs up. Ghazi broke the silence.
Can we get those cookies now? I hope they're vanilla chocolate flavored.
The kids giggled. Dad was quiet, lost in thought. He opened the car door and brought the cookies inside. He peeked inside the brown bag and was surprised to see more than 10 large cookies of different types and flavors. He handed Amanaah and the boys the cookie bag and started to drive. Ooh, a pink one! Amanaah squealed in delight. As soon as they got to Ma's house, the kids greeted Ma with,
Assalamualaikum, Ma. Do you know what happened? We didn't tell you what happened.
Ghazi was ready to demonstrate and play out the entire story to Ma.
Uncle Sean, he'd be that guy up, bunk.
Ghazi was in the kitchen with Ma as she prepared lunch. He wanted to tell her all the details. Ghazi ended his summary by letting Ma know one important thing.
He could be him up.
Ghazi demonstrated with his fists and kicks. Ma smiled at Ghazi and said, I'm so happy you guys are safe and sound. But I have to say, the Prophet ﷺ said that the strong person is not one who can do this whoosh, whoosh, fighting and jumping and is good at wrestling, but a strong person is someone who controls himself when he's angry. The kids giggled when Ma demonstrated her moves, and they nodded in agreement with Ma's reminder of this hadith. Ma held all the kids in a group hug while Ghazi announced,
I'm ready for Sunday Funday, Ma.
Oh, yes, I made pizza for you, Ghazi. I made burgers and fries too for Mehdi. Oh, and for Mohammed, I made fried chicken. And Amanaah, I have your pasta ready to eat. Okay, come on, the table's filled with everyone's favorite food. Come on, let's go, kids. The kids ran straight to the bathroom to wash their hands. They also filled up their water balloons to prepare for the most epic Sunday Funday to start their summer break right. Jazakallah khair, everyone, for tuning in to the stories on Once Upon a Crescent. Feel free to share it with your family and friends and leave a review for this podcast.